The moment we all been waiting for, a major gameplay update with tons of hot fixes, is coming next week at some point. Not an exact date confirmed, but they rebalanced the speed stat in Southpaw, so those people throwing power shots in Southpaw at a ridiculously fast rate. That's now been nerfed. Power jabs can now knock down opponents. They fixed the quick glitch again. I'm not sure if that's just for like PlayStation, because I heard some platforms don't experience it as much as the others. And middleweight and welterweight, they reduced the speed in Southpaw. They also removed lightning hands from Sergio Martinez in middleweight and welterweight. Reduced the speed of the right uppercut in orthodox speed stat as well. So, Sergio's not going to be as broken. So, if you're a Sergio main, you're still going to be able to, do some clean work with him. But he's just not going to be blatantly overpowered. It says multiple fighter ratings have been changed. Not sure who just yet. That's not in the list. But then they're also going to be adding 2 free fighters, Billy Dib and Antonio Tarver. Not familiar with them. I'm more of a new boxing fan. So if you guys do know who that is, let me know if those are good additions to the game or not. Let's see. Bernard has been added. That's Benavidez's trainer. Added to the walkouts. Alright, let's get into the main gameplay fixes. We fixed an issue regarding Camacho's uppercut being thrown incorrectly. Fixed an issue where Floyd Patterson's southpaw left uppercut is thrown too quickly. Fixed a bug where the showstopper achievement on Steam doesn't show up. Fixed an issue where after a flash knockdown, the fighter becomes invisible. I never really experienced that one. Let's see. Fixed an issue where a player is unable to match with another player in both online quick fight and ranked game modes after a few matches, causing 10-minute queue times. Yeah, I've experienced like really high queue times as well. Fix a stamina issue. If any boxers take a knee during the match, both players will recover to max stamina. I had never seen that, thankfully. Like, that would probably get me really, really upset. Let's see. Fixed an issue where taking a knee 3 times would not result in the fighter winning by TKO. Fixed an issue where when navigating into a fight on any venue, pausing the title will display the background slightly moving/wobbling. Female online boxers have shorter round lengths now, following a bug created in 1.4. Fixed multiple resolution issues in venue. Fixed issues with lobby invites. Fixed an issue where the game would crash if 2 players lost, surrender, flash killed at the same time. Stability fixes. Improved general. Let's see. Improved general improvements on hit punches. That's perfect. Love to hear that. Fixed soft block and infinite loading screen where a player is kicked from its host. And then another improved punch confirmation / general improvement on hit punches on certain punches, which is great. It shows that maybe certain punches were whiffing more than others. Let's see. Fix many general clipping issues. Fix some general localization and text. Faint power shots not tracked correctly on judges' scorecards. Let's see. Let's just get into the main stuff. But also they fixed body shots phasing through. Like let's say if somebody was pulling back or holding out 2 and just trying to pull counter you a whole bunch and your body shots would just phase through them. They apparently fixed that as well. And tons of audio fixes and other miscellaneous things. So what I'm pretty much gonna do is probably put the full patch notes like in the description or the comments so you can read it for yourself. This is in the Discord, so if you guys are a part of the Undisputed Discord, you guys could just go to the Undisputed News tab and read the same thing I'm reading. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this update for the most part because it's fixing one of the biggest issues I had with the game, which was the punch accuracy or just hit detection, whatever you want to call it, just not working properly. I mean, yeah, I could have gameplays where it works really well and I'm having tons of fun, but then there's a lot of matches where I'm not posting them and I'm missing a whole bunch It's just not a fun experience. So hopefully this update is going to be really good. Hopefully it fixes that issue so we could just move on and fix more important things. Like, your desync, some of the ghost punches, and we could really, they could focus their resources on other bigger issues. One of my bigger issues too is people moving backwards way too fast. You know this is a problem when I'll have somebody gassed, completely flat-footed. I'll rock them and they're able to walk backwards faster than I could walk forward and hit them. So hopefully the backwards movement and loose footwork get adjusted to make it, balanced all around. And something I was testing out in this fight as well was, holding R2 for too long actually punishes you and doesn't allow you to really block power shots consistently. That's why that one just bled through on this guy multiple times, because he's just holding R2. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try it out this fight where I'm not going to really be holding R2. I'm going to try to react more. And apparently, you can get more counter damage because the game can actually register perfect blocks more effectively. So you'll see in this fight where we get some crazy counters with Bud Crawford, and it feels fantastic. It's a little bit harder to pull this off when you have a fight with a yellow or a red bar connection, because the desync and everything's gonna be a lot worse. So it's gonna be a lot harder to tell the distance between you and your opponent. I mean, sometimes I have those red bars and I could play just fine. It depends, I guess, on how far the opponent is. But yeah, just practicing my movement and just using all these mechanics within the game. Look at that. You see, that's from him holding R2 the entire time and not really, having his hands down. You really have to rely more on pivoting strikes, and we get a nasty knockdown. But, besides that, just use your pivoting strikes, your minor lunges, your major lunges, your back steps, and yeah, focus on those to keep you safe. Don't just hold R2 the entire time. Unless you have to, if you're in the corner and you have to hold R2 for a little bit and throw a little combo, get yourself out of there, that's fine. But yeah, this is a Sugar Ray Robinson. I believe this is at welterweight. I'm not too sure which weight class this is at, because I think both these boxers are at welterweight and lightweight, I believe so, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, this is at lightweight. So yeah, I forgot, because welterweight, my favorite fighter that I put on my custom queue is Sugar Ray Leonard. So this is definitely lightweight, which is impressive, and it proved to me that the counter damage thing is very true. That you do get more counter damage for not holding in R2 the entire time, or RT. Look at that. Beautiful flash drop right there. Beautiful. Because it's able to time, or it's able to, recognize my perfect block and counter, and it's going to do more damage. It's I faced these Robinsons at lightweight, and his health stats are pretty cracked. I'm pretty sure last time I remember checking his stats, so me be able to get flash drops is crazy. So that's where I was like, okay, this is definitely something I should be practicing more. And when punch accuracy is hopefully fixed with this new patch, bro, I cannot wait. Because I've been loving the game more recently. I know it's been broken, but I still want to practice to get good with it. Because I know at some point, punch accuracy was going to get fixed on top of other issues that do annoy me. So, I don't want to wait till then. And I'm just ass. So definitely want to be practicing, getting the reps in. So when these fire updates this one that's coming next week, I'm ready for it. Even though most people don't really boxing as a game, it doesn't matter. I still want to be very sharp for when these amazing updates drop. So, but yeah, see, we're using those lunges. Use the major lunge and the back step. We're gonna have to use them more often, with this guy specifically because, ooh, nasty flash drop again. Look at this. Perfectly timed. That's another lead hook counter right there. We end up flash dropping him again. That's beautiful. But yeah, we was putting in work against the Sugar Ray Robinson. I was like, I definitely gotta use this gameplay. Showing off some beautiful counters, some beautiful boxing. So let's see what he's gonna do. Yo, that's crazy. He actually just rocked us with one random power shot. I'm not sure what Sugar Ray's like power punching set is, but I know it ain't that high, bro. But we live to see another day. And you see, look at those body shots, bro. They all landed. Like, that's what I like to see. Like, I have matches like that where, you know, I'm not really missing too much, and it feels fantastic. So I can't wait to test out this new update. I will definitely be dropping a review or impressions video when this update drops. I'm gonna play a bunch of matches. I'll probably play like 10-20 matches, and you know, I'll probably end up doing like an impressions video, and then a full review will come out a couple days after, just, you know, seeing how the dust settles, meaning, you know, is whatever fixes they're doing actually gonna work consistently. You know, because a lot of these updates bring back a lot of players, and sometimes their fixes are too small or minuscule to the point where it feels a little bit better, but it'll still feel the same. But punches landing is major. Yeah, I don't know what his corner is going to tell him, but yeah, this fight felt amazing though. This was my first fight practicing, you know, what I've been talking about as far as in just not holding R2 the entire time. So it definitely has helped me out a lot, but it's a learning curve for doing it because, you know, you're so used to holding R2 and having this high guard. You know, it feels weird, you know, having hands down, especially, you know, with desync. You know, it is a pain in the ass because, you know, with desync, you know, you could get punched even when you're out of range. You know, those ghost punches can still like land on you. I guess he's gonna make us wait the entire time. That's fine. Let's see what he's gonna do. But for the most part, all these drops, I know I'm up. But like I said, for the most part, like, even when I'm not using it as a YouTube video, I'm not gonna, like, you know, run in a circle the entire time and not throw a punch. You know, unless the person's like really exploiting and playing in a certain way where I have to do that. Look at that nasty counter right there. Look at that. Nice counter uppercut. Drop him. Yeah, we got to taunt him. He wanted to make us wait that entire time, bro. So we had to knock him out. Let's see if he gets back up. But yeah, those counters just do so much more damage when you're not holding in R2. So definitely try that. We end up getting the KO. So now, it was some beautiful gameplay. We went over the patch notes, so let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What you think about the patch notes?